What happens when the #1 restaurant in the world goes completely plant-based? Today we're going inside the only 3 Michelin star plant-based restaurant on the planet, 11 Madison Park. A little over a year ago, 11 Madison Park made the bold choice to stop serving all animal products at its restaurant. This was just a few years after it was ranked the #1 restaurant in the world by the world's 50 best restaurants, and it was met with mixed reviews. Some people praised the restaurant for taking a big step in creating a more sustainable restaurant, while others had harsh criticism saying the new menu was a big step down from their previous menus. Pete Wells of the New York Times even wrote that the acclaimed restaurant does strange things to vegetables. By the way, you should go read this review. It's really funny. It says things like, "In tonight's performance, the role of the duck will be played by a beet doing things no root vegetable should be asked to do." And "The beet at 11 Madison Park tastes like lemon pledge and smells like a burning joint." Not a great review. But that was when it just opened. So with over a year of experimenting on this new menu, the question that we all have is, how much does it cost and is it worth the price? I've had the pleasure of dining at 11 Madison Park now 3 times. Once with their old menu, their classic honey lavender duck, their beautiful caviar dishes, and I absolutely loved it. It quickly became my favorite restaurant in the US. Then I tried it shortly after they switched to a plant-based menu, and I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. It wasn't bad, but I felt like they were trying to substitute vegetables for meat in too many cases instead of letting them shine on their own, and I felt like the flavors were less punchy, unique, and innovative. But then I dined here one more time over the summer, and this is how it went. In my opinion, summertime is when plant-based restaurants shine. The variety and depth of flavors during summer is unparalleled. Tomatoes, corn, stone fruits, it's by far my favorite season. We started off with this Celtus drink that was shaken with honeydew and shiso. It was paired with a light and refreshing popsicle of the same flavors and an ice cube in the drink with their logo imprinted in it. These little details are one of the things that, regardless of their menu, make 11 Madison Park special. I have never been to a restaurant that has service that is as perfect and personalized as theirs. The first time I walked in, they greeted me by name without me even saying it. The second time, they referenced my pop-up that I had told them about the previous time I was there. These little details are things that you don't ever forget. One of the best dishes of the night was this cucumber tostada with horseradish and tonburi, which is a Japanese seed that tastes delicious and makes you almost forget you're not eating caviar. The crisp, the texture, the creaminess, all of it comes together beautifully. And if there's one thing that 11 Madison Park always nails, it's bread and butter. Except this super flaky bread and smooth butter with miso are both made without any animal product. What I was really hoping for the first time that I had their plant-based menu were the unique flavors that can only be achieved with vegetables. And this time there was no shortage of that. The next dish we had was an ingredient I had never eaten before, sunflower. Yes, sunflower. Eating the stems, the petals, the heart. This was a new experience and was followed up by maybe my favorite dish of the night, their corn, rice, and chanterelles dish. The sweetness of the corn, the light earthiness of the chanterelles melding together with the soft texture of the rice. This was a dish that, in my opinion, was as close to perfect as you could get. One thing you'll probably notice is how simple all these dishes seem. 11 Madison Park is one of the few restaurants that are extreme minimalists with their dishes. Their philosophy is make the dish look beautiful, make it taste delicious, and only use the ingredients that are absolutely crucial to make it shine. So things like gold flakes are replaced with their beautiful silken tofu or that tonburi we had earlier. What followed was a fried okra dish served with cucumber, basil, and finger lime. This one almost resembled a taco of sorts. There was a beautiful crunch from the fried okra, a little bit of spice for a little kick from the sauce, and was another home run of a dish. Now for the main event. We had this clay tomb wheeled in that housed our grilled squash and poblano pepper. You get those beautiful roasted flavors in the already extremely sweet squash paired with the mild heat of the poblano pepper. I understand that people are hesitant about plant-based cooking, but my goodness, these dishes took me for a spin. I finally felt like we were just letting vegetables be vegetables. When you've cooked with animal products all your life and all of a sudden you can't, there's definitely a learning curve involved, and it seems like 11 Madison Park is learning quickly. A pro tip if you're at the restaurant is to ask to go see the kitchen. You get to see where the magic happens, and you might be surprised at how organized and calm everything is. It's not like Hell's Kitchen or movies where everyone is shouting. It's actually quite relaxed. And on their wall they have a series of 11 words that are their principles, their philosophies for how they want this restaurant to exist. The other element that has been consistent with 11 Madison Park across all 3 menus I've tried tried is their desserts. Every single time I come here, I fall in love with their desserts all over again. Whether it's this raspberry, pink peppercorn, and corn dish that was light and refreshing, or their peach, cherry, and almond dish that was a bit more full, every dessert that I've ever had here has been perfection. Here, it doesn't matter if they can't use butter or cream, you can't even tell they had any limitations. And of course, you finish off with their famous sesame chocolate pretzel that's almost like a Reese's peanut butter cup. So what's the verdict? I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I actually enjoyed this menu even more than their menu with meat. They've gone through a lot with this menu, but clearly they've worked out a lot of the kinks. Their menu costs $365 per person, which is a steep price, but I think it's worth it to experience what the pinnacle of plant-based cooking looks like. Geez, I need to go back.